Hey man, is that an LB7?
Yeah.
We may or may have not hit 90 miles an hour with
Nearly 20K back.
about 20,000 pounds, maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, it depends on if it's wet or dry.
True. Very, very, very good point. What is up, guys? Thanks again so much for stopping by at the channel. I got a crowd with me, by the way. All right, so we are here, and I'm gonna introduce you to the crew, but before we get started, this is what's going on. That infamous rear end that I had to rip out of the Duramax, and I had to get Mark to rebuild a new one, a true Trac. It is a built rear end for my LBZ Duramax. I did not open up anything. I wanted to leave it exactly the way it is at its state, and we're gonna go ahead and open that case and let's see what the ugly truth is inside of there. I have no clue what we're gonna see. Hey, it may look good, or we might be seeing some gears that are laying on the bottom of that carrier. So I want you guys to stay tuned. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The man, the myth, the legend. This is Mark, guys. This is Mark. It's my first time meeting him. We've been talking quite a bit for months now on the phone. He's been a tremendous help to me and my build, even possibly even to the success of this channel. But again, Mark, thank you so much for inviting us out here. We're really super excited to come out, you know, do some cool footage.
We are super excited to do this event, and hopefully the weather's in our favor, and it's going to be a great time, and we do appreciate everybody that's coming and coming a long distance for sure.
So without further ado, we just hit the ground running. Matt from Diesel Performance in Swartz Creek, Michigan. We just got here. We're gonna go ahead and take the LBZ off of his 30-foot gooseneck trailer. We're gonna go ahead and remove that very, very well, in great shape, by the way. It's for sale, that rear end. It's in the bed of the truck. It's got like 12,000 miles, that's it. I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah, no, it's the one that I locked up on the highway.
By the pound.
That's his core, that belongs to him. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take that out. I want you to stay tuned though, this is not a how-to video. I wanna do a how-to on how to remove a Allison transmission from a Duramax. I think we owe that to you. What the heck is going on right here, Mark?
This is the other woman.
It's the other woman, I see it. It's beautiful. So this is your sled pulling truck, huh?
This is a truck we sponsor. It's a friend of Ryan's.
Okay.
And he's won a couple championships with it.
So you guys built this Duramax, huh?
We helped him with the drivetrain stuff. Ryan's done a lot with the components on it and everything else. Makes just shy of about 1,100 horsepower.
Oh my gosh, you guys dynoed this thing already?
Yes, yeah, it's been dynoed.
So I'm guessing dual fuelers, compounds?
Oh yeah.
If I was to build a Duramax, guys, with the issues of pulling the valve covers and actually having to get in there with the injectors, I know that sucks, but if you're trying to go for power with a Duramax, I'm telling you guys, some of the best things you guys can do is invest into an LB7 and just go this route. Who built the transmission?
I did.
You built the transmission?
Yeah, I just did the transform last summer.
Wow. So how many pulls so far?
I think he's got probably about 20 hooks on it.
And it's still, you got the rear end in there as well.
Rear end and front end, and they've both got about 4 seasons on it.
And you built that rear end?
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So you're looking at probably the T-case, the rear end that you did.
Basically the entire drive line other than the motor.
Trans and incredible, incredible. We're gonna get some more footage, guys, of a lot. There's so many Duramaxes. There's just so many diesels out here. There's gonna, like, I'm getting sidetracked again. But there's a lot going on here. Oh, party foul. Oh. Is that your new taillight? That's the new China cheap taillight. Oh. See, that's why I wasn't mad. You got the piece? Come on, man. I got a truck show. I gotta look good. Come on, man.
Some duct tape too?
We've got some epoxy.
Missing some of it.
Oh well. What can you do?
You're gonna make me be the guy, not hit that shiny red tailgate, right?
Actually, if you want, I can do it.
You're good there. Nailed it. Clear.
Oh man, got some serious talk over here. Okay, so by the way, we haven't introduced this. This is Ryan, all right? And we just talked to Mark. And I did want to point out something really quick. He has on display his turbos. You do have the option to either polish it. Is that correct, Ryan? Yep. As I'm seeing. And you do your in-house polish, or how's that?
They come pre-polished.
Okay.
Pre-polished when we get them.
And then you'd have your standard media blast, so they pretty much just blast the compressor housing. So you do have your options, and I know there's a lot of different options. We can talk about that. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the website where you can check that out if you guys want to run one of his turbos. But Matt and I at Diesel Pros, we had a conversation about pros and cons on buying a rebuild turbo versus buying a new turbo. So I want you guys to stay tuned for that video, and I do have the subject matter expert here, Ryan. And I'm sorry to pick on you, man, but seriously, we have you here. So I do want to invite you and see if you'd like to give us your input. Oh, Jedi Master. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That'll be in the video.
Posi front end, front.
It's got a posi traction unit in it that we actually custom machine and modify to fit in there, and it's a full mechanical unit.
So when will these be released to the public?
They're released now. They're on Ryan's website. We don't have them on ours yet, but you can go Ryan's Diesel Service. You'll find them on there. We also offer them with the fleece tough shafts, which are actually right behind you on the shelf. We put light fleece tough shafts in them also. You know,
that's kind of a big deal because now we're looking at locking the front end as well as the rear.
Absolutely.
So that's going to give you, if you guys are racing especially, you're really going to be able to hook hard.
Right.
Absolutely.
And they do work. We've had them on for probably 4 years now, and they work excellent.
Never even heard of this stuff, until we brought that up. Guys, a front locker, seriously, have you heard about it? You leave it in the comments. This is like a diamond in the rough right here. You guys just don't see this every day. So you said that this is offered on the Ryan's Diesel Service website?
It's on the Ryan's Diesel Service website. We'll also put it on ours on the Kodiak truck website.
Okay,
also.
good. I actually have a coupon code for his website, guys, so make sure you put that in there. So use that coupon code TruckMaster. But actually, I'm glad you brought this up. I wasn't expecting to talk about that, but it's here. So that's awesome.
Basically, this is our, if any of you guys out there running NP205 transfer cases, this is our own output shaft. We actually manufacture the shaft ourselves. It's made from 8620 material. It's finished ground. We've had excellent success with it. Here's our modified shaft, 37 spline, runs a Dania 80 style yoke, available with a 1410 or a 1485 yoke. This is a stock 205 shaft, so it gives you some idea of how much we increase the size of the shaft. The only downside to this is you cannot run a speedometer because we increase the diameter there. And this is basically what's now going to be the rear output bearing also. We run this bearing, and it's not going to go down on there because it's dry right now. You got to oil it. And then it's got a billet rear retainer. This bearing is actually the same bearing they use on the input of the Duramax transfer case.
So what would be the option, because I know Pete, you just raised something that you won't be able to use a speedometer now. What are some other options as far as using that? I would think an Edge CTS2 monitor or something like that.
Just even a GPS. Any type of GPS is going to give you your speedometer if you really need it.
That's true.
But the biggest application for these guys is sand drags,
yes,
truck pulls,
off-road stuff.
Off-road stuff, where a guy still wants to run a 205.
All right, guys, so we're in the shop. Here it is right here. I got Jalen. He was actually in my video when I was on the side of the road. He stopped to help, so that was pretty cool. And look, we're both here together in Wisconsin, so wow, he followed me all the way here. As realistically, I've never serviced the rear end, but I am the second owner of this Duramax, so I'm not exactly sure if it was. I think Mark should be able to know right away if it was serviced, just because this is what he does. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It's been years. This is an old truck, so. But we're gonna see, guys. He just pulled the bolts off. It's obviously not gonna open, so we gotta get this thing out of there. It's been on there for a very long time, especially with the harsh Ohio and Michigan winters.
Well, somebody's had to cover off because there's not factory silicone on it, so somebody's been in it for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, the pinion definitely came back. You can see that. You can look at inside the cover. You can see how much black there is. Definitely a lack of not getting fluid changes as often as it should be. But
stupid owners, man.
When that pinion
so is that what the darkness is for? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's just, yeah, old burnt oil. So you can see where the pinion did come back into the housing when the yoke loosened up and smacked into the carrier. So she smacked it pretty good.
Also, yeah, all these dings and stuff.
Yeah. Visually looking at the ring gear, I can tell you right now the ring gear is junk. If you look close enough, you can see that a dual pattern, and it gives you an effect of it's not consistent. So the gear definitely dual pattern. You can see where it ran off the end. So, and that's all from the pinion dropping. So gear set would be junk, posi. I'd have to take my light and look in closer at the ramp plate, but that more than likely is hurt. There's a couple small teeth off of it. We can get the axle shafts out of here, pull the carrier, and look at the rims. So.
No pressure, Mark.
Gotta get the axles out of this bad boy yet.
So is there anything usable in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing I was worried about. I'm like, well, I mean, I think the housing may be still good there, but
there is. I mean, there's a lot of people that send stuff back and they're like, yeah, the thing's totally trashed. You'd be surprised. There's still usable parts in there that are non-wear items.
Right.
That are still doable.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That plate right there, guys, is what he's talking about. It's shifting in and out.
There shouldn't be any in and out movement on this at all.
That's pretty bad.
That's real ugly.
This is worth driving up here for, huh?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, this is so cool.
Well, you can come here Monday. We got stacks of them to do. Yeah, that pinion gave her a kiss, a good one. You can see all the way across there. Oh, missing right there. That's probably the initial hit where it locked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, we got some carnage. Look at right here. Nice big old ding.
Somehow it looks like your posi still might have worked. There was a couple missing teeth, but not all too ugly. But yeah, with the light on, I don't know if you can pick up on that, Josh, or not, but you can see the pattern on there, how inconsistent
that is. I can see that. And then, of course, around here, too, it's all beat up. So I think it's good. I think we can still send it.
Send it right to the scrap rail.
Never mind.
Oh, that usually comes off with a puller. That was quite easy. And there we are.
It's a boy.
It's a boy. You want to slap it on its butt and make it cry?
That's pretty cool looking, though. We should do some, like, cool...
There's your other chunks out.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So we got a perfect place for this right in the scrap rail.
So we're pretty much done with teardown, but realistically, Mark, the carnage, where is it? Where are you seeing all of it? Like,
basically
the brunt of the...
Yeah, bearings, ring and pinion, all of it. It's had it. I mean, we got a good housing. The housing will be fine. We'll clean everything up and we'll rebuild it and put it back in your inventory as a reman unit for somebody else down the road. But definitely had an issue with the hub. We're going to have to look at that spindle closer to make sure that with all that extra play that we were talking about earlier in the video, just to make sure the spindle's not hurt. More than likely, it's just the bearings in there. Spindles are pretty tough on them. And as we look over here with all these nicks and grooves, what exactly would cause that? That's obviously when the yoke came off, the pinion came back, it sucked into the carrier, and that's what you got. And when it did that, everything was misaligned, knocked some teeth off, and chewed her up pretty good. Okay, guys, so that's what you're seeing right there with all those nicks. You can see this is the swirl of the pinion as it's turning, going down the road. Mm-hmm. This was swirling in here, rotating, and it cut into that. Yeah, you can see the coast side of the gear when it locked up. You can actually see these teeth right here are cracked. I don't know if you can look down in and get that, but I can run a flat blade over it. You can see they're broken. They're cracked. Oh, so, yeah. And the pattern is just horrible. In fact, coming around here, here's another cracked one right here. You can see them.
Spin that.
Yep. You can see another one right here. They're all hairline cracked along there. We keep spinning it. Right here, obviously, where that is, it's cracked all the way down to the root of the tooth. And this is all the coast side of the gear, so when it locked up, that's what you was basically doing, was coasting off the road. It wouldn't be so much a lack of maintenance as far as the fluid change, although the fluid's dark. The biggest thing is the pinion nut backing off. That's what caused all this catastrophic failure.
Of course.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that to look for. What would be a good recommendation for people to, you know, check the, I guess, the tightness of the pinion nut back there?
Yeah, just every now and then when you're servicing your truck, get underneath there and look at the pinion area and make sure you don't have any moisture on the front, going down the front of the pinion area or whatever. And, you know, once you service it every now and then, grab a hold of the U-joint, wiggle the stuff, check it out. It's none of it's going to last forever. So that'd be a really good thing to do.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you guys tell me what you think in the comments. I'm actually not surprised one bit that we saw some, you know, some pretty concerning issues in there. But, you know, it's just food for thought, you know, especially for you guys running these trucks. You know, it's very important that you check these things so you don't have these problems. And, you know, I love sharing the knowledge and having guys like Mark and Ryan around. And guys like Matt at Diesel Pros, you know, we do some pretty cool informative videos for you guys so you guys can learn. Mark, awesome stuff, man. Awesome job tearing that thing apart. I know you got a lot of experience, and you know, I hope this is helpful, you know. And, you know, of course, everybody knows where to check him out. I'll leave his information in the description. But I do want you guys to stay tuned because we are going to do this truck show. We're actually going to lay all these parts out for the spectators. So look at, that's what you're doing right now. You're cleaning up all that stuff, right?
Cleaning all of it. It's good and gunky gooey.
Oh, yeah. It's good stuff. So we're going to make it nice and clean so you can eat off of it. But yeah, I'll be showcasing this in another video as well so you guys can see it nice and cleaned up. We'll have this on a table all nice and prepped and whatnot. But other than that, guys, we're going to close the video out today. Make sure you subscribe if this is your first time stopping in. Hope you enjoyed the content. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.